Hey, hey, what's going on, everybody? So, by the title, this is my top 5 favorite fall bass fishing baits. Let me get a rapid fire of them real quick and then I'll explain them. Square bill crankbait, rattle trap, any soft plastic, a jig, and then my preferred trailer for my jig. So, let's start off with the first one I named. The square bill crankbait. Ow. The square bill crankbait. Square bill, because the wobble, it doesn't have a tight wiggle. It kind of wobbles through the water. Ow. Mimicking a shad's natural swimming motion would be the way to put it. And why that color specifically? Well, the bass, they are often, I won't say all the time, they are often chasing shad into creeks and things of that nature. Or if the wind's blowing and there happens to be a flat around where you're fishing, let's say the wind's coming from this direction here, the shad will be pushed heavy onto this bank. The shad will be pushed heavy onto that bank where the wind's blowing, and so the bass, they just, I'll do red for bass since bass are cool. The bass, they just get them, leave, get them, leave, get them, leave, and that's what they do. That's what they do for the shad. They will chase them in the creeks, catch them on flats like this. Oh, and I did forget to mention one thing. That the square bill is also good at. In, let's say, your creek that you're fishing, you know, the pocket that you're fishing, let's say it has a deep channel. Let's say it has a deep channel running through it. The bass, what they will do, they will sit right at the edge of where the deep part is and where the shallow part is, like a mini ledge, you know. They will sit right here on either side, and when the shad come zooming on across, trying to get into that deeper water, or coming out of the deep water into the shallows, and then the bass get them here, 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 wherever they get on that. All right. Now then, and main reason I always bust out this bait here first, this exact bait. Sometimes they'll have red eyes. I do prefer them to have red eyes. The reason I always break this bait out first is because it's a searching bait. You get a bite here, on the corner here, you find them with that. And then, if they're biting this well, but you notice they bite it well when you're reeling slower, or when you're popping it, or something like that, then what you can do is move on to a rattle trap, also known as a lipless crankbait. I got hung on some rocks and lost my last shad color rattle trap, so this is one I got. But anyways, again, shad color this time of year. But honestly, this color ain't bad. I've had luck on before. Same thing again, but this time, let's say that bottom we were fishing right here, it's got grass. Crankbait keeps digging in, getting stuck and everything else. Well, what you can do is your rattle trap, and all this grass here, it's on the bottom. You can reel it slightly above that, just right through the top, and bass will get them. Same thing with this flap. Let's say your flap is covered in grass. Then the rattle trap will be good for that. And it's also good for dropping them directly off the ledges, you know. You can reel them and then drop them. Reel them until you feel the bomb. You don't feel a bomb anymore, let them sink. And just kind of bump them on their way down, you know. That's my suggestion for the rattle trap. Let me redraw our lake here. Alright. Next up, any soft plastic. I prefer Berkeley. This was just the first package I grabbed today. Watermelon seed tubes. Just the first package I grabbed. Honestly, I would go with your Confidence soft plastic if I were you. But you know, that's for if the bass are being lethargic, which means not much energy. You know, it's a cold autumn day. Like, let's say 40s or so. It's cold. It's been in 60s. It drops down to 40. Water temperature gets a little lower. They probably won't go for a reaction strike as well. So you can use this. I would suggest something different. I would suggest something like a Christy Craw or a brush hog or something like that. Something with a little bit more size to it. Because those lethargic bass, when they're not going for reaction strikes, what they want is something that'll fill them up. And what I would suggest, you know, when using a soft plastic like that, just fish how you normally would, you know. Hit the rocks over here. Hit the trees back here. Drop it off this ledge here. You know, hit this little grass patch right here. That's what I would suggest doing with a soft plastic myself. That's what I would suggest anyways. Now then, on to the jig. I prefer white jigs, white swim jigs. Couldn't find one in the boat. It's weird, I always have them. But I prefer white swim jigs this time of year to this guy. This guy's alright, but he's more of a spring, summertime. I prefer white swim jigs. And with those white swim jigs, I will often pair them with these right here. I will pair them with these right here. Keytech Swing Impact 4 Sexy Shad. Oh, 4-inch Sexy Shad. It's the color. But yeah, that's what I'll do for those. And for those, for a jig, actually what I'll do, if I can't get them anywhere, if I can't get them here in that little drop off, if I can't get them here on this flat, if I can't get them chasing in the pocket, if I can't get them in any of those places, you know, let's say all of those are just bad, erased, don't exist anymore. What you can do is this right here. That is the mouth of that creek. And a lot of times those mouths will actually have a little ledge running. Like this, you know. Those ledges are often more extreme ledges than those that you would find in there in the creek part. So you can drop them in there and do pretty good that way. So let's do just a quick recap. Let's do just a quick recap on everything here. in the fall, bass will often chase shad, you know. They'll often get lethargic or lazy, is another way to put it. They're getting ready for winter. They're getting fat for winter, so big baits, big meals, you know. Big baits. And I forgot the last thing I was gonna say. I really did. Oh, and of course, that's their typical behavior. Now then, locations, pockets, creeks, flats, and ledges. That's where you want to get them at, is in pockets, creeks, flats, and ledges. That's typically where you can find them at during the fall. And for one last thing, let's go over the baits one more time. I'm not going to put them up here because I've got them right here with me. Square bill crankbait, sexy shad typically is the color I run. Lipless crankbait, also known as a chatterbait. Soft plastic of any kind. Also, I don't know if I said it, I would recommend Berkeley when it comes to soft plastics. Jig, but not this kind. You want a white jig. A white jig with this trailer or something very similar. That is what you want. That's about it. About all I got for today, guys. So if you would, like and subscribe for me. But I would like to share just one more thing before you go. I've decided to do a daily Bible verse. This is day 1. John 3:16, the most well-known verse in the entire Bible. For God so loved the world in this way, he gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And that was John 3:16. I wish for everyone to have a blessed day. Get out there and hook a monster bass.